Hello there, my name is Grayman. Uh, Today's video I'm going to start it a little bit different. How are you? How do we say this question? The best way to say it. Do you say, how are you? Do you say, how are you? Or how are ya? I hear a lot of people who say, how are you? If you have a friend, close friend, who say, hey, how are you today? Say, I'm doing great. How are you? So the second one is stressed a bit. So the best way to say, how are you, is to say, how are you? How are you? But other people say, how are you doing? How are you today? How are things with you? This one you ask, you wanted to find out about how things are with your friends. As I promised you earlier, I'm going to teach the word how separately. How. How we use it to ask about the way in which something is being done or something has happened. I'm going to go through some examples here just to make it a little bit easier and clear. We say, how many brothers do you have? Say, how many brothers do you have? Or how many sisters do you have? But what about combination of brothers and sisters? How do you call that? Instead of saying, how many brothers and sisters do you have? We have one word. We say, how many siblings do you have? Not brother and sisters. We say siblings. When I teach you about family, I'm going to give you that word. This is how much. Okay, you wanted to ask me, how much is this t-shirt? How much is this tie? This is a tie. And this is shirt, but t-shirt is like that. I'll make sure I'll teach a video about clothing as well. So how much is this t-shirt? We say it is or it's. You could say it is $15. You could say it's $15. Bucks means dollars. I will make sure give you more details how to use how much and how many when I teach you the count nouns. We say count nouns, or we say countable nouns, or uncount nouns, we say uncountable nouns. So for count nouns, countable nouns, we use how much. We use how many, sorry. We use how many, because this has something to do with number. The countable nouns, the nouns that we can count. For non-count noun, we use how much. Okay, I'm going to teach you a separate lesson or separate video about the count nouns and then non-count nouns. But here, this briefly about this. Sometimes you need to ask about how long. How long do you want to stay in this hotel? How long do you want to stay in this city? Okay, whatever that be. So how long? We ask about the time. The answer should be, I wanted to stay here for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. So the time that you wanted to stay in a place, we say, how long do you want to stay in this hotel? Sometimes also we use it in a different way when we ask about distance. How long does it take you to drive from here to downtown? How long does it take you? Here I'm asking about how many minutes. Instead of saying how many minutes, we say how much time, or how long does it take you? Either one is fine. Okay, here we say how often. Here we're asking about frequency. Frequency. How often do you go to downtown? How often do you go to whatever that be, a place, any place? Okay, how often, like how many times a week, how many times a month, how many times a year? How often do you go to India? How often do you go to Africa? How often do you travel to Europe? Okay. Here This one, how far? How far is about the distance, and how long is about the time. How often about the frequency? How often does it happen? And how far is about the distance. Say, for example, you're here and your office is here. Say, how far is your office? Like from this spot to this spot. How far is your office? It could be, well, 10 kilometers from here to my office, or 10 miles. Some people would look at distances by miles or kilometers. It depends. And then most importantly, this is a very important question. When somebody asks you about your age, or somebody's age, then they would say, how old is she? Okay, you have a daughter, she's so smart, she's speaking, and she seems to be a little bit younger. And then your friend would say, oh, how old is she? Well, she's only 2 years old. She's 2 years old, okay? If he's a boy, then we would say, how old is he? How old is he, or how old is she? This is about how, okay? I hope you liked today's video. And if you wanted to learn more English, please join Learn English with Greyman. Subscribe. And if you subscribe, please activate the bell in order to get more the new videos or more videos. Okay. Once again, my name is Greyman, and bye bye. I'll see you again. Take care.